Welcome to the Facilitators Deep Dive Podcast, your podcast on your way to facilitation mastery.
Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Yeah?
Today, we are going to be looking at the world of digital coaching.
Okay.
So where personal growth meets cutting-edge tech.
Right.
We've got a whole bunch of sources here for book excerpts, research articles, you name it.
The whole shebang.
All about how digital tools are changing the coaching landscape. And I guess our mission today is to really try to help the listener figure out if this is a wave you should be riding.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's not even just about new apps or anything. It's a fundamental shift.
Yeah.
Think about how digital tools have already revolutionized every industry.
Yeah.
We went from encyclopedias to Wikipedia overnight, basically.
That's true.
And so now that same wave is hitting the coaching world, I think.
It's so true. And that's something that really struck me when I was reading Digital Media and Coaching. They had this incredible anecdote about a Do champion, this guy Fan Hui, who was defeated by this AI program called AlphaGo back in 2015.
Wow.
And it just highlights how rapidly technology can just disrupt even fields that we think of as requiring human intuition.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, no.
I mean, if AI can master something as complex as Go, what are the possibilities for personal and professional development?
Yeah.
We're already seeing it with these apps like Leida.
Oh, yeah.
That acts as a digital assistant for managers, offering reminders and nudges throughout the day.
Yeah.
So it makes you think is this helpful, or are we heading into some kind of dystopian future where we've got AI managing our lives?
Totally.
But I guess before we go down that rabbit hole, let's get back to coaching.
Okay.
It seems like there's this weird paradox.
Yeah.
Coaching is all about personal growth. Yet a 2016 study showed that only a tiny percentage of coaches were actually using digital tools beyond just basic email or scheduling.
That is fascinating.
You'd think coaches would be the first people to embrace technology for personal development.
Yeah.
But the adoption rate has been really slow.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it's because coaching relies so heavily on trust and human connection, which can be hard to replicate through a screen.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's not as simple as just switching to video calls.
Exactly.
There's more to it. So before we get into the benefits and challenges, maybe we should sort of map out what kind of digital coaching tools actually exist out there.
Yeah.
And the book categorizes them in a few helpful ways.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think some key distinctions to keep in mind are, is the coaching primarily driven by a human or by AI?
Right.
Whether it happens in real time or at your own pace.
Okay.
And then what mode of communication is being used? So text, video, or audio.
Okay. So within each of those categories, there are all sorts of different platforms.
Okay.
We've got CoachingCloud, which is all about structure and accountability.
Okay.
Helping coaches track client progress and even facilitate team coaching.
Okay.
And then we got CoachAccountable.
CoachAccountable.
Which is really focused on turning insights into action.
Yeah.
So it's like a shared workspace where you and your coach can set goals, track metrics, create action plans, get feedback.
That sounds really practical.
Totally. And then there's the laws of motion, which sort of blends e-coaching with e-learning.
Interesting.
And it's got these beautifully designed modules that use visual content reflective prompts, even quotes from philosophers to guide you through this process of self-discovery.
I like that.
And then you've got CoachingSpaces, which takes a completely different approach.
Interesting.
It uses a virtual stage where you can visualize your goals, your relationships, and your personal development journey.
So it's like creating a map of your inner world.
It's wild. And then there's ProReal, which takes virtual coaching to a whole other level. This one uses avatars in a 3D virtual world.
What?
It's crazy.
That's wild.
The level of immersion and experiential learning is mind-blowing.
Wow.
But of all these different approaches, one that I found particularly interesting is text-based coaching.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Right.
Because in this age of instant video calls, you might wonder why anyone would choose to coach through writing.
Exactly.
But there's actually a long history of using written communication for self-reflection and personal growth.
Oh, yeah.
The book mentions this thing called briefseelsorge.
Okay.
Which is a form of spiritual guidance that's been conducted through letters for centuries.
Interesting. And it's not just about tradition. The book argues that the act of writing itself
Uh-huh.
can be incredibly therapeutic
Yeah.
because it forces you to slow down, articulate your thoughts, and confront your emotions in a way that speaking sometimes doesn't.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's actually a whole body of research on that, including work by psychologists like James Pennebaker,
Okay.
that shows how expressive writing can help us process difficult experiences, reduce stress,
Wow.
and even improve our physical health.
That's amazing.
So sometimes putting pen to paper or, fingers to keyboard
Right.
can unlock a level of self-awareness that we might not access otherwise.
It's interesting to think about. So
Right.
we've got this explosion of digital coaching tools,
We do.
each with its own approach and strengths.
Yeah.
What does it all mean for our listeners,
Right.
whether you're a coach or someone seeking guidance? I think the big question is,
Yeah.
what are the real benefits and challenges
That's
of
great.
going digital?
Let's start with the good stuff.
Okay.
One of the most obvious benefits, I think, is accessibility.
Okay.
Digital coaching breaks down geographical barriers,
Right.
allowing you to connect with coaches and resources from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, and it can be incredibly cost effective.
Oh, for sure.
Not only can coaches reach a wider audience,
Right.
but clients often find digital solutions more budget-friendly
Yeah.
than traditional coaching.
Absolutely.
Plus, think of all the time you save by not having to commute to in-person sessions.
Right, you're not sitting in traffic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's a big one.
Yeah.
Another major plus is the structure and accountability
Yeah.
that many digital platforms provide.
Yeah. Features like goal-setting tools, progress trackers, automated reminders.
It's like having a virtual accountability partner.
Totally. It's like having your coach in your pocket.
Exactly. And as we were just talking about with text-based coaching,
Yeah.
certain digital formats can actually encourage deeper self-reflection.
Oh, absolutely.
The process of writing, reflecting on prompts, or engaging in asynchronous dialogue can sometimes lead to those aha moments
For sure.
that might not happen in a fast-paced conversation.
They would.
And then there's scalability.
Yeah.
Digital tools allow coaches to reach a wider audience, especially with group coaching features.
Right.
So it's an exciting opportunity to make personal and professional development accessible to more people.
I love that.
Yeah, so that all sounds pretty amazing.
It does.
But I'm sure there are some challenges
Oh, yeah.
that come with this digital shift.
Of course.
Like we were talking about earlier, the importance of human connection in coaching.
Yeah.
Is that something that gets lost when we move online?
That's a valid concern. I mean,
Yeah.
while video conferencing can help,
Yeah.
it is true that the absence of physical presence
Right.
and those nonverbal cues
Yeah.
can make it harder to build trust and rapport,
Right.
especially in the initial stages of a coaching relationship.
Totally. And for some people, technology itself can be a barrier.
Oh, absolutely.
Not everyone has access to a reliable internet connection
Right.
or feels comfortable navigating new platforms.
Yeah.
So there's a risk of excluding those who aren't tech savvy. And then plus, technical glitches can be so frustrating
Totally.
for both coaches and clients.
Absolutely.
And then there's the need for new skills.
Yeah.
It's a misconception that virtual coaching is easier
Oh, yeah.
than traditional coaching.
It's definitely not.
It actually requires a whole new set of competencies,
Totally.
from choosing the right technology to facilitating engaging online interaction.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there's a lot to consider
For
for both coaches and for people who are thinking about trying digital coaching.
Absolutely.
So let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
and delve into what it takes to be an effective coach in this digital world.
I'm game.
Yeah.
What's crucial to understand, I think, is that virtual coaching isn't just about delivering the same content through a different medium.
Right.
It's about adapting your approach, mastering new skills, and really understanding how to leverage technology
Okay.
to create a truly impactful coaching experience.
I like that.
Yeah.
Welcome back to our deep dive into digital coaching. In the last part, we kind of explored that digitalization wave that's
Yeah.
sweeping through the coaching world. And we even looked at some different platforms,
Yeah.
some that emphasize structure and accountability, others leveraging virtual reality and avatars.
Oh, yeah. The whole gamut.
So now let's get even more practical
Okay. Sounds good.
and zoom in on a few specific platforms
So
to see how they're being used in the real world.
awesome.
You mentioned that you were intrigued by CoachAccountable.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
one of the things that really makes CoachAccountable stand out is its focus on bridging that gap between insights and action.
Oh.
It's great to have those aha moments in coaching,
Yeah.
but Turning those insights into tangible results, that's where the real magic happens.
And that's where CoachAccountable shines.
Exactly.
Imagine you and your coach have this like shared digital space where you can set clear goals, track your progress, and create detailed action plans. No more fuzzy commitments or like forgotten promises. It's all laid out right there in front of you.
Right.
With deadlines and reminders to keep you on track.
Love it. And it's not even just about ticking off tasks.
Yeah.
It's about creating a data-driven approach to your growth.
Right.
CoachAccountable allows you to track all sorts of metrics.
Like what?
Like mood ratings, habit trackers.
Oh, cool.
Or even key performance indicators.
Wow.
Related to your goals, this gives you and your coach valuable data points to reflect on.
Okay.
So you can see what's working and make adjustments as needed.
So it's like having a personal dashboard.
It is.
For your development.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
Right.
It takes the guesswork out of coaching.
Yeah.
And helps you stay focused on what truly matters.
Plus, with features like automated reminders and direct feedback, it's like having your coach in your pocket.
Totally nudging you along, celebrating your wins.
Exactly. And the best part is, it's not just limited to individual coaching. CoachAccountable is also being used to scale up coaching programs.
Oh.
And create more impactful group coaching experiences.
Interesting.
They even have a case study on their website.
Really?
About a coach who used the platform to grow his business from one-on-one sessions to leading groups of up to 60 people.
That's amazing. It shows how these digital tools can help coaches reach a wider audience without sacrificing that personal touch.
Right.
And speaking of reaching a wider audience, one of the most compelling arguments for digital coaching, I think, is its potential to just break down those geographical and financial barriers that have traditionally limited access to personal development. And the Laws of Motion platform, with its blended approach to e-coaching and e-learning, really stood out to me in that regard.
Laws of Motion is really inspiring. Because it was born out of a real need to make personal and professional development more accessible.
Interesting.
In South Africa, where the founders saw a growing demand for solutions that could be delivered efficiently and cost effectively, especially in the face of like economic challenges.
Oh, wow.
So they were determined to create a model that could shorten contact time, reduce costs, and reach a much larger group of people.
So they had a very specific goal in mind.
They did.
From the get-go. And they drew inspiration from some pretty fascinating sources.
Like what?
Like Honey and Mumford's adult learning process to create this really unique 3-step e-coaching model. It's called Discover and Explore, Awareness and Perspective, and Reframe and Integrate. And they've woven in visual content, reflective prompts, and even quotes from thinkers like Confucius and John Smiley to make the online learning experience really engaging.
And thought-provoking.
It's not just dry information. It's about sparking insights and inspiring action.
Love that. And it's not a purely solo journey either. Laws of Motion emphasizes a blended approach, combining online modules with in-person workshops, group coaching sessions, and even individual coaching via Skype or phone.
So they've got it all.
They really have.
It's a great example of how digital tools can be used to enhance and expand traditional coaching, making it more accessible, engaging, and impactful.
For sure. Now, shifting gears a bit. Let's talk about CoachingSpaces, which you mentioned earlier.
I was really fascinated by this one.
This platform really captivated me. Because it takes that concept of visualization to a whole new level.
It does. It's so innovative.
It's not just about thinking about your goals. It's about seeing them come to life on a virtual stage.
Instead of just talking about your values or your challenges or your relationships, you can actually represent them with objects on this virtual stage. And you can move them around, change their size or color, even view the scene from different perspectives.
That's wild.
It's like creating this dynamic, interactive map of your inner world.
It's brilliant. It's a brilliant way to tap into both the cognitive and emotional aspects of coaching.
Totally. And we often use spatial metaphors in coaching.
We do.
Think about the wheel of life or like a relationship map.
CoachingSpaces takes these concepts and brings them to life in a way that's So much more engaging and intuitive.
And it seems especially powerful for exploring complex dynamics,
Yeah.
like team dynamics, family systems,
Oh.
or even the interplay of different values and beliefs.
Exactly. Seeing these things play out visually
Yeah.
can really help you understand them on a deeper level
Yeah.
and identify potential areas for growth.
And it's not just about pre-designed templates.
No.
CoachingSpaces gives coaches and clients the freedom to create their own unique visual language,
Which is on.
which adds another layer of personalization and creativity.
Totally. Now, I know we've been singing the praises of digital coaching,
Yeah.
but let's not shy away from the elephant in the room.
Okay.
That concern about losing the human connection when we move online.
That's a really important point. And while video conferencing can help,
Yeah.
there's still something about being in the same physical space
Right.
that can be hard to replicate virtually.
Right. And that's where a platform like ProReal
Yeah.
is pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Okay.
Remember we were talking about avatars earlier?
Yeah.
Well, ProReal has created this 3D virtual world
Uh-huh.
where coaches and clients can interact through their avatars.
Okay.
And the level of detail and immersion is incredible.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around that.
It's wild.
It sounds like something out of a science fiction movie.
Echo?
What's the thinking behind incorporating avatars into coaching?
Well, it's actually rooted in some well-established therapeutic approaches,
Oh, okay.
like psychodrama and sociodrama,
Okay.
where participants use role-playing and dramatic enactment
Mm-hmm.
to explore their inner worlds and relationships.
Okay.
So the creators of ProReal wanted to capture the power of those immersive experiences
Yeah.
and translate them into a virtual setting.
So instead of just talking about a challenging situation,
Yeah.
you could actually role play it.
You could,
Yeah.
with your avatar.
Imagine a virtual landscape
Okay.
with forests, mountains, rivers, and even symbolic objects that you can interact with.
Wow.
You can create scenes, build structures, and even invite other avatars to participate in role-playing exercises.
So it's almost like entering a shared dream space.
Yeah.
Or a guided visualization.
It is.
Except it's happening in real time
Right.
with your coach.
Exactly.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It seems like this could be really powerful for working with emotions,
Yeah.
exploring different perspectives,
Totally.
and even practicing new behaviors in a safe and controlled environment.
Absolutely. It's like a virtual sandbox for personal growth.
Right. And there's actually research to support this.
There is. The creators of ProReal cite studies on the benefits of using metaphors, symbols, and narratives in therapy and coaching.
Yeah, and there's a growing body of evidence showing how virtual reality can be effective for treating anxiety, PTSD, and other mental health conditions.
Wow.
So while it's still a relatively new field, the potential of avatar-based coaching is really exciting.
It really makes you wonder what the future holds for digital coaching.
I know.
We've seen platforms that focus on structure and accountability,
Yeah.
platforms that leverage visual metaphors and storytelling,
Mm-hmm.
and now platforms that are creating immersive virtual worlds.
It's amazing.
It's clear that technology is opening up a whole new realm of possibilities
For sure.
for personal and professional development.
It's an exciting time to be in the coaching world.
It is, but as with any emerging field,
Right.
there are also challenges
Of course.
and ethical considerations
Right.
that we need to be mindful of.
We can't just get swept up in the hype of new technology.
Right.
So we need to be thoughtful about how we use it and what impact it has on the coaching relationship.
Well said. And that brings us to our next part,
Okay.
where we'll explore some of those broader implications
Yeah.
and ethical considerations.
Stay tuned, deep divers.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into digital coaching. You know, we've explored all these different platforms and approaches and how technology is creating these incredible opportunities for growth. But I think it's time to step back and consider the bigger picture. Like, how is this digital wave shaping the future of coaching itself?
Right. That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
One of the big ideas from the book is that coaching and digital media are becoming increasingly intertwined.
Yeah.
It's not just about using Zoom for sessions anymore. It's like a fundamental shift
Yeah.
in how we think about coaching, deliver coaching, even experience coaching.
I mean, just look at how much has changed already.
I know, right?
We've got platforms that track our progress, platforms that use visual metaphors to deepen our understanding, and even platforms creating these immersive virtual worlds. Yeah, it feels like the possibilities are endless.
Exactly. And it raises some interesting questions about the future of coaching as a profession.
Yeah, like what?
Well, will we see a rise of specialized digital coaches? Or will all coaches need to become like these tech-savvy hybrids, blending traditional methods with digital expertise.
And how will this impact coach training and certification?
Oh, totally.
Will we need new standards and guidelines to ensure quality and ethical practices in the digital realm?
It's a whole new world.
Yeah, these are all things the coaching community is grappling with right now.
Oh, yeah. And it's not just about the coaches either.
Right.
It's about the clients, too.
Okay.
Like, how are their expectations changing in this digital age?
That's a good point.
Are they getting more comfortable with virtual interactions, or are there still some reservations about building trust and rapport through a screen?
Yeah, we've all become so used to the convenience and personalization of digital services.
For sure.
Think about how streaming services have changed how we consume entertainment.
Right?
Are those same expectations now extending to the coaching world?
I think so. That's exactly what the book suggests.
Yeah, okay.
They talk about this trend toward like a consumerization of coaching,
Okay.
where clients are looking for these personalized, on-demand services tailored to their needs and preferences.
Right. So they want flexibility, convenience,
Yeah.
and the ability to integrate coaching into their busy lives.
Exactly. It's like the Amazon Prime effect.
Right.
We want everything delivered quickly and efficiently with a few clicks of a button.
But coaching is such a personal and nuanced process.
Right.
Can technology really replicate that human touch?
That is the challenge.
Yeah.
To strike that balance between leveraging technology and preserving that human connection.
Right.
It's not about replacing human interaction.
Okay.
It's about finding ways to enhance and augment it.
So it sounds like coaches need to be more than just tech savvy.
Oh, yeah.
They need to be digitally fluent, understanding how to use these tools to deepen the coaching relationship, not detract from it.
Exactly. And that brings us to a really important point.
Okay.
Ethical considerations.
Right.
As coaching becomes more reliant on technology, we need to think about the potential risks and challenges.
Like what?
Well, how do we ensure data privacy and security?
Okay.
How do we use algorithms responsibly?
Mm-hmm.
And how do we prevent bias from creeping into AI-powered coaching tools?
These are big questions.
They are.
And they're not going away anytime soon.
Right.
We can't just be excited about new technologies. We need to be thoughtful, critical, and committed to using them ethically.
And in a way that serves the best interests of our clients.
Right. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's the key takeaway for our listeners?
I think it boils down to this.
Okay.
Digitalization is transforming the coaching landscape in huge ways.
Yeah.
It offers incredible opportunities, but we need to proceed with both enthusiasm and caution.
It's not a question of whether to embrace technology, but how to do it thoughtfully and ethically.
Exactly.
I think as coaches, we need to be willing to adapt, learn new skills, and challenge our assumptions about what coaching can be.
And as clients, we need to be informed consumers,
Right.
asking critical questions about the platforms we use and the coaches we choose.
Yeah. The future of coaching is a shared responsibility.
Totally.
It's up to all of us to shape it in a way that honors that human connection at the heart of this work.
Well said. So, as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we encourage you to keep exploring, keep asking those tough questions, and keep those brains buzzing.
The conversation about digital coaching is just beginning.
It is, and we can't wait to see where it takes us next.
We either.
That's a wrap for this episode.
Awesome.
Until next time, keep diving deep.
See you next time on the Facilitators Deep Dive Podcast, your podcast on your way to facilitation mastery. Until next time.
See you then.